Why has Deputy President appointed Musalia Mudavadi as the media spokesperson and head of campaign secretariat? This is a position that Mudavadi had in 2017 during the making of NASA. Mudavadi was head of Raila Odinga's campaign team, campaign secretariat. And just this evening, of course, I'll do that analysis later this afternoon. Kalonzo Musyoka wants to play a lead role in Raila Odinga's campaigns. In fact, he wants to be chief campaigner for Raila Odinga. That is the latest that we are now serving. Of course, we are going to do analysis on that. There are two press briefings that William Ruto have held after Mudavadi joined his team, the Kenya Kwanza. There was a time they were in Meru before they flew for the 10-day tour. The time they were in Meru, and in Twitter, the issue of the food prices going up, inflation, was trending on Twitter. Then the following day, they held a press briefing in Meru addressing the issue in the country. So what happened is Mudavadi was telling the government on, and actually by that time they were so specific on the prices of fertilizer and the other commodities, household commodities. The person who read that media briefing was Musalia Mudavadi. Today, the 1st of April, they were speaking in Lamu. And in a reaction to the building, to the collapse of the BBI after the Supreme Court verdict on Thursday, Musalia Mudavadi also read another press briefing from the Kenya Kwanza team on behalf of William Ruto and the rest of the team. It is no denial, and of course it was in public space, that Musalia Mudavadi was the head of William Ruto's campaign team. He is a key member of that team. And so something was running in my mind. In the event that they lose the August 9th general election, which is likely, even the other side can also lose. So is it Musalia Mudavadi who is going to read the acceptance speech from the Kenya Kwanza, or who is going to read that acceptance speech? That is a question. But let us get this clearly by this understanding first. If you've been keen on the politics of Musalia Mudavadi, he's been doing the gentleman politics. He doesn't go confrontational. But after joining William Ruto, there was a bit of some sort of radicalization, or I'm not getting the word, but there's some new, he reinvented his politics from that gentleman's approach to confrontational. Very confrontational. In fact, Mudavadi was the gentleman of the public debt. They kept on talking about, specifically Mudavadi kept on talking about how the country is broke, the issue of the public debt and all that. And I analyzed here that if there is a narrative that cannot translate to votes, is that narrative of public debt. Because even if you tell Kenyans that we owe China billions, the people you're telling those rallies, some of them, or majority of them, have never seen even a million. They don't even know how much is a million shillings. So it's more of the issue of the economy and the public debt is more of a high class conversation. So only someone who, the middle and the high class, kidogo, these are the people that maybe can understand what you mean by the public debt. But then, in my understanding, William Ruto have made sure that he has reduced Musalia Mudavadi from being the co-principal, and being the co-principal, to be the media spokesperson. If you look at the arrangement in NASA, the person who used to do what Musalia Mudavadi is doing in Kenya Kwanza was Norman Magaya. The rest of the team were principals. That is Musalia and the rest and the rest. So if you look at it critically, William Ruto wants to deflate, or rather to refrain from making principles, because he doesn't want the sense of entitlement. This is something that is happening because if you look at NASA, let's just refer to NASA, there were all those principles. If they were still together, they will feel like we are at the same level. So if we didn't win and so we're going 2022, you should support one of us. So he's trying to refrain from the same level politics where Mudavadi, him, and Kithure Kindiki, he doesn't want to elevate this team to be at the same level with him, because in an event that they don't win and they stick together in 2027, these people might be asking him, we supported you. That is something that's there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel and also like our video. More importantly, you can share as we look into 4 reasons why William Ruto have reduced Musalia Mudavadi, and I want to call it demotion, from party leader or principal to a media spokesperson. Yes. One thing that Ruto is doing, he's trying to avoid structured criticism of the government. The reason this is the reason why he's using Mudavadi in this, because William Ruto is the deputy president of the country. And whenever he makes an official statement, calls a press briefings and talks, for example, he was talking about this, and today they were calling for the audit of the BBI fund. And I am told the BBI was never funded from the National Assembly, so what they were even to audit was not there. But if you ask for, if you do a structured criticism of government as William Ruto, that will be a conflict of interest. And what Deep Ruto is doing is to avoid friction with government officials and machineries. That's what, for now, he's avoiding. Because between now and it's very delicate, you never know what they can do. And he has his businesses and interests within the government. But then that's why he has opted to use Musalia Mudavadi. Now that brings me to point number 2. If you look at the politics of Kenya Kwanza, they are going to play purely opposition politics. All their, and we are waiting to look, and personally I'm waiting to look at their manifesto. Their manifesto must go against the government, because what they are doing, unlike Raila, who is most likely and more likely talking about building on President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy projects, William Ruto, on the other hand, is feeling like because Uhuru did not deliver in the second term, he wants to come and make an overhaul. And so for him, they must run manifestos, or rather their proposals or their ideas will be those that are parallel to what Jubilee did in the second term. Even though many times you will find Ruto sleep doing double standard, saying, I also want to build from what the president has done. But if you look at their politics, that's what they're going to do. And I was also keen, I don't know why, at some point they dropped the criticism of the CBC. If you're keen, Mudavadi and Otangola were so keen on it, but they dropped it. Now, what they want to do is, Mudavadi will be the face of opposition. The face of that opposition will be Musalia Mudavadi, and that's what William Ruto is doing. In fact, I will not be shocked. After general election, Mudavadi is the one who's going to go to media and concede defeat. Ruto might even jifanya that, you know what, is not well, or he doesn't want to go to media. Then Mudavadi takes the face of opposition leader. That is what Ruto is doing. Number 3. And I think this is what Mudavadi has never seen. And I have always mentioned here that the Kenya Kwanza politics and what DP Ruto is interested in, he has already known that 2022 August 9th is sealed. It will be very difficult to win against these fellas. But he wants to fraction well or position well for 2027. And so you must make sure that Mudavadi is antagonism, is on a war path with both Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta. So when there is something that Gavin needs to be told, you need to pull Mudavadi. When there is something that it's not well and you need to make it, you need to pull Mudavadi. And you'll see that when Uhuru goes somewhere and wants to respond, he will always respond to Mudavadi. In fact, Mudavadi can always refer to Mudavadi, but is avoiding that confrontation with William Samoei Ruto. So this is something that is so critical and it's happening. But lastly, I also feel that on the other side, DP Ruto is interested to bring in and to convince the Luya nation that he means well for Musalia Mudavadi. In fact, he wants to empower him and make him be a very powerful person around his presidency, but does not really stand to have anything. That is it. It's all about, he's about William, and William Ruto is the best because there was a disconnect when Salim Davadi joined the team. But also more importantly, I think Davadi should know that the seat of the running mate is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? We're coming back with Raila's tour in North Rift.